FM News Talk 97.1. On demand audio.
Will you ever run for president?
Absolutely not. No. Being president is a really hard job, and it's an important job. And, when my husband is running for president, we're right in there, right? We're serving too. And I think that, once his terms are over.
Really?
Gotta love that overconfidence from Michelle Obama. These guys think they have this baby in the bag, and as far as I'm concerned, keep thinking that way. Because we can already tell you and your husband are as lazy as the day is long, and we're coming after you. On to another Michelle. A Michelle we prefer. Michelle Malkin. Ladies and gentlemen, her newest website is twitchy.com, and she's coming to town, by the way, on Tuesday, the 8th of May, for the Vitae Foundation's annual St. Louis Spring Pro-Life Benefit Dinner, and the Vitae Foundation is just amazing what they do. Michelle Malkin, welcome to the program.
Well, thank you so much. I am so excited to be coming back to St. Louis. It's been many, many years. And, thanks. I am the other Michelle.
the other Michelle. That is interesting, though. And even Jon Stewart got to the point where he was saying, really, Jimmy Fallon? I mean, when you've got a lefty like Jon Stewart saying that these guys are just like behaving like clowns, you're in trouble. Yeah.
I wish you had given me a health warning before you played that. It's way too early in the morning now.
I'm sorry about that.
A medic, but
I mean, really, terms, yeah. Really? I mean, yeah. Come on.
Well, the thing about Michelle Obama is that she's gotten so much white glove treatment over the last 4 years, and I've followed her career path very closely. She has gotten away with so much in terms of pleading with the press to treat her as a quote-unquote private citizen when she has benefited so much from government largesse, cronyism that dates back to her family's days in Chicago, and also this entitled sense that she has to have this double image as just another working mom who's out there who relates to the people and adds to the likability factor of Team Obama. And at the same time, someone who had a very high-powered career because of her connections to Mayor Richard Daley and Valerie Jarrett, and someone who plays hard ball in the East Wing of the White House and sometimes makes the West Wing look like kindergarten.
Right. Michelle Malkin is on with us. She's going to be coming to town on Tuesday, the 8th of May. And I'm telling you, when it comes to the Vitae Foundation, I want to make sure we talk about this because life and liberty, religious liberty, are of utmost importance. Now, even as we focus a lot on the economy, there are issues that still remain important as they always have.
Yes, of course. And of course, there's so much connection and synergy between economic liberty, personal liberty, freedom of conscience. And when you take a look at an abomination like Obamacare, it becomes very clear that the trampling on economic liberty is as every much as important as the trampling on personal and religious liberty. And that's, of course, what has come clear over the last month with this abortion mandate. And the usurpation of freedom of conscience. But, I pointed out that this has been going on for years. I mean, since day one in the Obama administration, the Planned Parenthood lobby and ACLU have had their way with religious health care providers. And I was glad to see that the issue was finally forced into the forefront and that Republican presidential candidates had to acknowledge that social conservatives are every bit as important as fiscal conservatives.
Yeah, I hear you on that, and I feel like I'm talking to when I talk to you, Michelle, and I read your stuff. I feel like I'm talking to like one of the originals, because I know that you were conservative well before it was cool, actually, and with your website and you with Hot Air and everything else, and you were actually putting up the good fight long before a lot of these other guys have come out, and yet you still haven't taken a back seat. You're still out there, but now you're really kind of actually one of the standard bearers. So we're really privileged to have you on, and certainly privileged to have you coming to St. Louis on the 8th, on Tuesday, May 8th for the Vitae Foundation's annual pro-life dinner. Now, this new website you have, twitchy.com. What is that?
What it is a Twitter curation and aggregation site. And I know that you've got many listeners who are already plugged in and really hip to the new media ways. But there are a lot of folks who want to be involved and active in grassroots conservative movement activities online. And if you don't necessarily have time to be on Twitter 24/7 like I am, it is an addiction, you can go to Twitchy, TWITCHY.com, and it'll give you all the best, latest, funniest, most newsworthy and noteworthy tweets, messages on Twitter in a number of categories. We don't just do politics. We do entertainment, media. We've got global news on there and sports. And it's just a great central clearinghouse that has a decidedly and explicitly right-leaning, conservative-leaning bent. And there are very few of those. I think we're really at the vanguard of this space, and it's making a difference because, as we know in politics, whether we're talking about the pro-life movement, whether we're talking about the Tea Party or the Obama administration, pushing back at the left's counter-narratives is very important, and this is one piece of it.
Yeah, no doubt about it, because you can't rely on the mainstream media to do that. And so this new media, especially what you've been contributing to, is very important. And I think it's finally catching on. I think people are kind of finally bypassing, NBC and going directly to the source, which I think is really important. I can't even watch the nightly news anymore. I scream at the TV, so I don't even bother with it anymore. You're a classical pianist, huh?
I am. I was lapsed for a long time, but of course my tiger mom was hoping that I'd be a professional classical pianist for my entire career. But you know what? Now I'm living it with I've got an 8-year-old son who plays the piano, the ukulele, the violin, so music brings a lot of joy to the house.
Fantastic. I mean, I love that. In fact, I've got a 7-year-old boy who I want to start on the piano because I think it's so important. I love music. And so how did you then how did you go from, liberal arts college, Oberlin College, and then classical pianist to becoming a conservative rock star?
Wow. Well, it's been a long journey. This is my 20th year in newspaper opinion journalism, actually, and I started out on my college campus. I went to Oberlin College, which is an incredibly left-wing campus. Of course, that's redundant.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I went to school in the late 80s, early 1990s. It was the height of political correctness and crazy multiculturalism. And I was a congenital conservative, raised very strict Catholic by immigrant parents who believed in the free market and were fans of Reagan, but not necessarily political. And when I saw the squelching of free speech, the intolerance, the rigid orthodoxy of the left firsthand, and had to experience that, it really brought me out of my shell.
Yeah, you are. I mean, you are certainly a brave woman, and your path kind of reminds me of mine to a certain degree as a youngster, because I went to school in Madison, Wisconsin.
Oh dear.
And worked on the conservative newspaper there, and we essentially had to lock our doors prior to publication so we could get the newspaper out and not be firebombed. It was crazy. But Michelle Malkin, thank you very much. It's been a privilege, and we look forward to seeing you here in St. Louis. I'll be out there hopefully to talk to you. Twitchy.com is the website. And Michelle Malkin, really appreciate you. And we'll see you on Tuesday, the 8th of May.
See you soon. Thank you so much, Jamie.
Take care.